Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we are going to be talking about goals and New Year's resolutions, which is something super important to me, something I'm very passionate about. Have you ever struggled to complete a goal or struggled to really keep your New Year's goals and kind of end up forgetting about them in February? I know, it's super common. It tends to happen. New Year's resolutions can be really hard to keep. But I love making New Year's resolutions and I love being able to actually keep them and find a way to keep my goals and be able to progress and improve myself. So I'm going to teach you how to do that today, how to actually maintain your goals. And here's the little secret right here. I'll give you a little hint. It all comes from this. This is what gives me my motivation and what helps me every single year. So I always get myself a planner, and this is so helpful. I usually get a planner from Target because they have really cute ones normally. I actually found this one at Amazon and it looks super cute. It was only $8. It was super cheap, but it looks super cute and it has everything that I need. So we're gonna open it and check it out. I'm super duper excited. I'll also link the link to it down below, and if you guys want a planner, you guys can click on the link and look at it. They had some other color options and patterns that you could choose from, or maybe you can find another one online that you like. So just click on the link below and you can find your own little planner. I love that it has this elastic strap up here in front. This just helps me to keep my pages closed and keep it in nicer condition. And I love the spiral so I can turn my pages easily and keep them open when needed. And it's also a great place to store my pencil, so I love that. This one just has this cute little 2026 down here and all the pretty flowers. Thank you for your order. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. They gave me a little card. You can see that there's tabs for all of the months, which makes it super easy to get to each of the months. So what I was looking for is a calendar that first of all has a month review like this. This is super helpful and super necessary. And then it should have a day by day like this, which I love for these goal settings. And this one I thought was really nice too because it has this priority section at the beginning of each week, which is really nice for weekly goals. So yeah, okay, right back here, there's a notes section. And so this will be where I'll be writing down a bunch of my goals and planning this out. So this is perfect. So the first thing that's super important about New Year's resolutions is being able to set resolutions that you can actually obtain. So many times when people get discouraged and end up not completing their New Year's resolutions is when they set goals that are just way too much and way too hard and things that they're not going to accomplish, and then they end up not being able to do them and they end up feeling down about it and like, oh, I can't accomplish it, and that just doesn't help you. It doesn't motivate you. So it's important to set goals that you can actually accomplish and will motivate you. And a really good way to do this actually is to start with things that you're already doing. That is what I did. I already thought of my goals so that I would have them ready for this video. And you gotta think of things that you're already striving to do with your life and things that you're already doing on a daily basis, and the goals will just help support you to continue to do those things and continue to do them with more consistency. So for example, I have read the Book of Mormon every day. And yes, I've been reading my scriptures almost every day, but I haven't been getting every single day. So that's a good goal for me because it's helping me to just do a little bit more, be a little bit more consistent. And then on top of that, you find things that are new and exciting. You find things that you want to try, that you want to do with your year. And that's what really gives you the motivation to be like, oh wow, like this is going to be so exciting. I'm going to try this new thing. I'm going to learn this new skill. And those are goals that are really fun too, to add on to the ones that you're already doing and already working on. So a few examples from mine is I have, for example, I want to do a spa day every month and just give myself that day to just do my facial mask and to like take good care of my hair and paint my nails and just kind of give myself a nice spa day. And so that's something that I have as one of my goals this year. Another example is practice piano every week. I want to work on my skill practicing piano, and I have been lacking for years and haven't been practicing. So that's a brand new thing that I'm introducing this year and wanting to make sure I really practice my piano. So there's just a few things like that that you can add on, and they'll give you motivation and get you really excited about your goals. So the next thing that I do about thinking about my goals is I think about them in 4 different categories. And there are some other categories that kind of come along, but I start with these 4 categories because it just helps me to start brainstorming ideas of what I want to work on. And so I work on the categories of spiritual, physical, intellectual, and social. These are the 4 categories that my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they recommend to children and youth when they are making goals and working on goals, is to try to focus on these 4 categories. I often end up also thinking of mental and emotional goals. There's also kind of work-related or school-related goals, and so I just kind of put those all under the 4 categories and try to think of some good goals. So that's what we're gonna do right here. I'm gonna write down some of my goal ideas, and then I will show you. Okay, here are all of my goals written out into these 4 categories. So you can see that under spiritual, we have listen to Follow Him podcast, read Book of Mormon every day, finish reading Book of Mormon in Spanish. Intellectual, there's get a car. It's not really intellectual, but that was the best category I could think for it. Read 12 books, practice the piano every day. So there's all these different things for all these categories. And so the next thing that I do is I like to divide them out among daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and yearly goals, those 4 categories. And so I'm just going to use my pink marker to mark all of the daily goals right here. Practice piano. Oh, I said every day. I meant every week. I'm not ready to practice piano every day. You gotta think of goals that are actually realistic, and that is not realistic for me. And these don't have to be exactly for the day or for the week or for the month, but having one of those timelines to allow you to check up on your goal and remember it is the whole key here. So then the rest of these will be our yearly goals, like finish reading the Book of Mormon in Spanish and get a car. That'll be a yearly goal. So yeah, once I have sorted these into the 4 different categories and decided which ones are which, I'm just going to list them all in my planner, starting with the daily ones on top and getting down to the yearly ones on bottom, so that we have our list of all of our goals. Okay, so I just finished writing down all of my goals. Here my notes section. Here they all are listed, super pretty and cute. And I like putting check boxes next to them so at the end of the year I can check them off. The things that are like yearly goals, it's really easy to check them off, like get a car. We'll see if I get a car and I can check that off. But for a lot of these other ones, they're more habit-based, daily routine kind of goals. And so I'm not expecting perfection. And if I miss reading the Book of Mormon one day, I'm not gonna be like, oh, you didn't accomplish that goal. It's more, have I felt that I have obtained this habit in my life? Do I feel that this is now a part of my daily routine and something that has become part of my identity? Do I feel like I'm someone that does read my Book of Mormon every day? And if that's the answer, yes, then I check it off. So now that I have all my goals here listed, I'm going to share some of them with you because I'm just super excited about my goals this year and to just have a nice fresh start. So I want to read the Book of Mormon every day. I've mentioned that. I also want to read Come Follow Me, which we are reading in the Old Testament as members of the church, and I am super excited to dive into it because I actually haven't read the whole Old Testament myself, and I'm just really excited to dive into it. And yeah, I'm going to be journaling every day. I also want to try to eat a fruit or vegetable every day. I think that's a good way to make sure I'm kind of eating healthy, getting things I need, but without being such a stickler or counting calories or anything like that. But I do want to track my food every day, not to like be tracking my calories or anything, but just have a list of what I'm eating every day, just so that I become more self-aware of what I'm eating. And then maybe I could make a goal of how to improve my diet next year if I find something that I'm having too much of or something that I'm not getting enough of. I want to brush my teeth twice every day. I want to floss every day. Sometimes I'm really good at it and sometimes I'm not. So we're going to try to floss every single day. I also want to try to do my homework before getting on my phone every day. So I try to do my scripture study before getting on my phone. And I want to at least start some homework before I get on my phone, because if I can just start and just do it for a couple minutes, I think that'll help me to just have more motivation to do it after, or it'll just get me already motivated and in the mindset that I'll just keep doing my homework and not get distracted by my phone. And I think that would be super helpful. I want to also try to at least start all of my assignments before 9 p.m. So it's okay if I'm still kind of finishing assignments at 9 or 10 or 11, like those ones that are due at midnight. You know how it is, you start at 11:30. So I at least want to not be starting an assignment from the start after 9 p.m. And so I want to have a little bit of progress on all those assignments and be finishing them and submitting them after 9 p.m. That is the goal. I want to also study the Words of Living Prophets every week and make sure that I'm doing that. I want to listen to the Follow Him podcast every week that goes Overcome Follow Me, because that's really good. I want to work out 3 days every single week and just make sure I'm getting that workout routine. I would love to do more than 3, but I know it's not very realistic to set more than 3, so we're going with 3. I want to post a video every week, and so that could be a short or a reel or a long form YouTube video, but I do want to try to post at least one thing every week. And I want to practice the piano every week, and I want to do some creative writing every week, call my siblings once every week, have people over every week. I want to hang out with someone new every week, hang out with like a different friend. Now I know this is kind of sounding like a lot, but these are like very simple, easy schedule kind of things. Like literally practicing the piano can be like 10 minutes and journaling could be like 10 minutes. Like if I just spend, 20 minutes of my week like doing that, then I can get these things done. But also I've had many years of making goals and making these routines and schedules, and so if you want to just start a lot more simple and just start with like 2 or 3 goals, like that is perfectly fine. Do what you think is realistic for you. And also a reminder that these are a bunch of things that I'm already striving on and already working towards, and so don't start with a bunch of brand new goals. Start with goals that you are already working on, things that you already are trying to do with your life, because that makes it a lot easier and less overwhelming. What else do we have? A spa day every month. I want to follow a monthly budget. I want to read 12 books this year and do little sibling dates or activities when I'm home with each of my siblings. I want to go on at least 2 dates a semester with guys that I'm interested in and actually try to find someone that I feel like I could date or see a future with. I also want to finish reading the Book of Mormon in Spanish this year, and I want to get a car. That is a big goal that I'm so excited for, which is hence the budgeting and trying to be careful with my money and save. I also want to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube. So this is a big goal of mine, because if I can get to 500, then I am super close to being able to get monetized and actually being able to get paid for my content, which would be really nice, because I put so much heart and soul into these videos, and I've done it for me and I've done it for my family this whole time. I love looking back at the memories in the videos. But yeah, I would love to actually get monetized, because then I could have all these hours of work that I put into making these memories. It would be nice to get some money from that. So if you are not subscribed, please go subscribe and help me to reach my yearly goal, because that would be awesome, and I would love to keep making fun videos for you guys. That's what I'm planning to do this year, so help me reach that goal. But yeah, these are all my New Year's resolutions that I have for this year. And so now that I have my list here, what I'm gonna do is on the month section, so we're gonna go to January, I'm gonna write down, there's kind of this note section, and I'll write down my monthly goals and have a little checkbox there so I can check them off when I complete them. Okay, so I just did that. I wrote down these monthly goals right here, and I just write like 1 or 2 words so that you don't have to do a ton of writing, but just to clue in what the goal is. And so then I can check these things off, or like for the books and the dates, I can tally or put the number of books that I read that month or the number of dates that I went on with someone I'm interested in. And so now for my week, I am gonna put down my weekly goals, and I'm going to put down all my daily goals. Now, I actually have a lot of weekly goals, so I don't know if they're all going to fit in here, but I also like to often put them on Sunday, because Sunday I end up not doing some of my daily goals. Like I don't work out on Sundays or do homework on Sundays, so I don't need to include those ones, and so it's a good place to put my weekly goals. And then of course on each day I will put my daily goals, and this is when it's especially important to keep it really simple, small words, so that you don't have to write a billion things. But this is a really good way for me to do it. So normally I'll just kind of put check boxes every single week. Every Sunday I'll go and fill this out. So I'm not doing the whole year in one day, but I'll just do it once a week. And so it's all ready for me, and I can get ready every day to check off my boxes and make sure that I'm completing my goals. So I'll just show you how I'm gonna do this first week. Okay, I just finished my week and look at how amazing that looks with all the check boxes and everything all ready to go. And so it does take a sec to write everything down, but I think it's worth it to just do it once a week so it's done. And now for the first week of January, I'm all ready. And every day I can just check off my check boxes, just make sure I'm doing things. And this is the way that I like to do it. You are welcome to make some sort of schedule, to put exact times of when you want to do things. Do it kind of however you want, but the way that works best for me is just having the things that I need to do, because I know every day is going to end up being a little different, but just being able to check off the boxes and say that I did these things is what helps me the most. And what's really important about this is I now will keep this that has all of my goals and everything ready for me right on my nightstand, right next to my bed, right where I can see it every single day and be checking stuff off and using it every single day. Like, this should be right next to your phone. Super prioritize it, because it's really seeing your goals and remembering them that's going to help you to actually keep them. Because if you just put this off somewhere and you forget all about them, it's not going to help. So you have to be marking it daily, you have to be checking in on it weekly, you have to be checking monthly and yearly. Like, that's what's really going to make sure that you get these goals done, is just frequently checking up on them and remembering what they are. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do to make sure that I remember my goals. But I also want to remind you that it is super important to just be patient with yourself and to not be too hard on yourself. If you do struggle to get a certain goal done that you thought you could do and that you thought would be a good one, you are welcome to change your goals, and you are welcome to change things how they are. I will probably be changing some of my goals. We're gonna see how it goes, and just make sure that you're doing goals that are really benefiting you and helping you. And even if you can't get all your goals done, even if you have those bad days and you don't get things done, like, it's okay. Give yourself some mercy and give yourself some grace, especially if you're new to goal setting and new to routines, because it just takes a sec to figure out. But it's something that I value a lot and that I think is super duper helpful. There's also a lot of other plans that you need to be able to make to get these things happening, like a lot of my YouTube goals to hit 500 subscribers or to post a video every week. I need to plan and prepare for that. So like, I have my whole YouTube plan that's on my computer that has my whole calendar of video posting and ideas and everything that'll help me with that. I need to make a budget plan and have a place to put that. Also, for my food tracking, I need to have some sort of app or just notes on my phone that I can keep track of the food that I'm eating. So each of these goals, you'll need to have some way that you're able to track them, whether it's just using your planner or whether it's having some other system as well to help you keep track of them. But that's super important. That'll help give you support in accomplishing your goals. I think it's also just great to have fresh starts, and so that's why I love the new year, because it really does give you a fresh start and allow you to reflect and have a new perspective, look back on what you've done the last year, think of ways that you can improve in this next following year. And I like to kind of just change things up every year. So like the simplest things, like this year, like I just changed my phone like color palette that I have, and I just changed my messaging app that I use as my default. And so it's like the simplest thing, but it's just kind of giving me that new fresh start feeling for the new year. Like, wow, like things are different. Maybe getting a new phone case, maybe painting your nails a different color. I don't know, just do something that kind of makes it seem fresh and exciting. I also moving to a brand new apartment complex and having brand new roommates, and I think that's a really fun, good way for me to start the new year and just make new friends and have new experiences. So just find some way that you can feel like it's a fresh start and feel like it's a new year, and do something that will excite you, and find goals that will excite you, and just things that you can do to help improve yourself and feel like you are becoming the person that you can become. That's what goals are all about, is being able to improve ourselves and reach our highest potential. And that's why it's something that I'm super passionate about. And I would love to invite you all to come up with some goals and some New Year's resolutions. Get yourself a planner or some other way to just write them down or keep track of them, because it is super helpful, and I know that you can keep your New Year's resolutions and you can accomplish your goals. So comment down below what one of your goals is going to be for this next year, and remember to like this video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!